Hi everyone, welcome to today's Try It. And as usual, I am Ning and I'm here to bring some comparisons and reviews about the products and or things I've tried. So today I would like to share some insights about some materials I've used to, teach my daughter. So I wanted to quickly jump into the first item. This one is, two of the most popular children alphabet learning reading books out there. One is the Teach Your Child to Reading 100 Easy Lessons, which I find really prevalent in almost all websites and highly recommended, the most popular one out there. And I find this one, which is a little newer version. I think it just came out like a year or 2 years ago, not as widespread or well known, but let's talk about them. So this Learn to Read activity book, I think I was just randomly saw this on Amazon and I immediately attracted by its very colorful designs and how the materials inside have a lot of activities and games. So immediately I have a pretty positive impression of this, and guess what? Indeed, this book turns out to be absolutely not disappointing at all. And in fact, it's exceeding a lot of my expectations. I love how in the left-hand side, on the left-hand side of the book, it will give you instructions as you read along, but it's not overly lengthy. So for instance, you can directly read, like it will say, and then you just say whatever it's needed. So you don't have to kind of prepare yourself a whole lot with this particular book. So absolutely enjoy this a lot, especially the activity part. I find my daughter liked to playing and participating in these so much that she immediately jumped into some of these games without me even teaching her the left side. So I have to even use a white paper to cover this up. So I think if anything, if there's anything tiny little bit of flaw I need to pick out, that would be it. But honestly, it's not even that bad. So parents, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and try this particular book because it's super easy to teach your child. Absolutely parent friendly, because you don't have to really study a whole lot or do research or read a whole bunch before you can teach. You can immediately open it up and then just go ahead and read whatever description they have there. For instance, it will say, today we'll learn what letter F looks like and sounds like, and then you and so forth. The only tiny bit of thing also my daughter notices, or myself, is that for active child, this part is sometimes could be a tiny bit tedious. So if you also have a very active child and less like a shorter attention span, or overall a bit more more active, I would certainly recommend you to jump some part of this. You don't have to go through every single part. It's really hard for me because I'm a perfectionist. Come on. So sometimes I would inclined to read every single thing, but she'll jump ahead or something, and I feel a little annoying, but later on I realized, it's for her. If she enjoyed which part, it's just like reading as well. You're the one who guide her. Doesn't necessarily have to be like they got to follow every single thing. As long as the results is that they get to understand what this is about, and then eventually be able to pronounce some of these words or letters, and to be able to actually read like simple words, that is a huge accomplishment. And guess what? My daughter just about 3 days ago was able to read really simple, like these ones. I was so proud of her. I almost burst into tears. I was just so, it's such a huge sense of accomplishment. So absolutely, totally recommend this particular book. All right, for beginner learning. And my daughter is around 5 years of age, so just so you have an idea. For this particular book, to be honest, I haven't actually get a chance to really dive in yet with my daughter, just because, again, it feels very, very thick. Like you have to be an educator and really keen and tons of time invest and read before you can teach, which I think is a bit too much. And especially even prior to starting the lesson, there's a whole bunch of instructions and everything. So to my liking, it's slightly on the overwhelming side, even for me, to teach my child. So yeah, again, I'm be absolutely 100% honest with you. So if you have different opinion or do have a lot of time, you don't mind to be very comprehensive and to really teach every single thing about your child, then maybe you could try this. I don't know. I haven't personally tried it because it's so intimidating with all the reading. I've tried it a few pages just by reading it, but honestly, I don't have the time to read through every single thing. So not the most user-friendly one, I'd say, for this particular one. And also there's not as much activities or games. So I don't know, but my friend, one of my friends actually been using this and she said it's pretty good. Although there are frustrating times, she said, but overall, like, she finds it's okay. Nothing outstanding, but yeah, good book for you to start off, I guess, if you don't have any other choices. All right, and now let's move on to the second sets of books for Mandarin learning. So here I have a few different books for teaching your child Chinese. I've most of these I ordered from Amazon. There's also a few I ordered from the bookoutlet.com. So let's give them a quick look. And one particular one I purchased from the Aberdeen Center here in Richmond, BC. But again, like a bookstore. So you know, it doesn't matter where I got it. Let's have a quick look at them. First book is this one, Big Chinese Coloring Book for Little Hands. It's for actually ages 4 and plus. I know it's probably not the most age appropriate for my daughter's age because when I look into it, it does have some fairly basic and minimum kind of learning. So it's really up to you, but I actually feel like this is one of the best ones for her liking right now. Like, she is quite eager to actually write some of these, but it is definitely on the simpler side. So if your child just super entry level and don't know any Mandarin, this might be a book to start off with. But if you have already a pretty good foundation background in Chinese, then I highly recommend you to go ahead and choose a more complicated version. But again, this is a good starting point. So there's tons of things like coloring, and you can do some activities such as this, or you can also like connecting the image or the drawing to a character, which I think is really nice as well. And you know, it's, yeah. So this is this particular book. I mean, my daughter's reaction is she's okay with it. It's not like A rated, but yeah, it's okay. It is, however, I feel like a little bit on the expensive side. I think it's around like $11 or something. Okay, or is it 17? Okay, so now let's move on to this one. So this one is cheaper than the previous version, but I actually really like this one. It is, I think, intended for children who would like to write beautiful Chinese. So it's slightly inclined towards calligraphy. So kind of, I don't want to say drawing classes, but it does focus a tiny bit more on the technicality of how to hold the hand and write the perfect word. So for instance, it will teaches you strokes. So the emphasis for that particular one, for the previous one, is more so for learning words, the meaning of words. But this one is actually to write those words. So if your child is not interested in learning writing at all, then perhaps I don't recommend you to get this, because this is entirely designed for strokes, like it says here. Character writing. So this one again is for 4+, simplified Chinese practice. So I like how it has a very comprehensive wow, I didn't even know. My daughter, I guess colored all these. It's pretty fun, right? When you can fill in the middle, 描红, so to speak, in Chinese. So here are some of the Chinese characters eventually they're able to write. So I'm pretty proud of my daughter for being able to write some really good ones. I even give her like, A+ grade and all that kind of stuff. So overall, this book has been serving pretty good. She really enjoyed writing like multiple pages every day. Even repetitively. So yeah, if you love your child to have beautiful writing and to be able to write, this will be a really good book to start off. This will teach us all the strokes out for Chinese characters. And it's pretty affordable. Okay, now let's move on to this one. So it is called Big Chinese Workbook for Little Hands. Same series as this one. However, this is the younger version, this is the older version. Okay, the reason why I ordered both is because I purchased this first because of the age range. It is exactly 5. But after I use it a few times with my daughter, I find this a little bit challenging for her liking. Thus, I went back to the previous one and ordered the 4+ age. So this particular one, I can't say that my daughter enjoyed it as much. I'm not sure, again, because it's overly challenging or there's just too much repetitive things and there's not as much game, so to speak, and it's all not colorful. So it wouldn't be the most amazing time for kids to enjoy, although there are some like strokes again and these kind of things for her to like once your child have enough attention span and are quite into Chinese, this might not be a bad choice, but for now I think it might be a bit too much for her. Okay, so that's this particular book. Like I said, even though it does have colorings and some other things, for now I find it's a bit not the best. Like it doesn't have a gradual learning process. I find right away, immediately when they start off, they'll have to have a pretty good understanding of Chinese immediately. So after they learn 1, 2, 3, immediately there are a whole bunch of like kings and and other things. It's definitely on the more intense side. Okay. Now, last but not least is the Chinese made easy for kids. So this particular one was actually I purchased about 10 years ago for my ex, for my daughter's dad, because I'm trying to teach him to speak Chinese. But apparently, I mean, this is for children for sure. I haven't actually used it on for my daughter, but this is an amazing material. I really enjoyed it teaching my ex, or even adults with this book, because they have colors, very like very gradual learning, teaching you the numbers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it would be amazing to actually giving your child such lesson. It might be, again, a bit overwhelming, but if you go gradually, I think it will do. So I didn't actually get a chance to go through the whole book with my ex, but I went through at least 5 courses, and it's actually pretty good, well designed. So, and they have a matching workbook, which I don't know where it went. But anyways, this I definitely recommend. Okay, now let's move on to the last book. I really love and enjoy this book a lot. It's called Tinkeractive Science Kindergarten, ages 5 and 6. So I got this for my daughter, and oh my gosh, look at all the colorful activities and it's just so amazing. And it is actually pretty reasonably priced. Compared to those like $17, oh yeah, this is money well worth spent, I think. And what I love about it is also you have a badges. You can collect your badges, so it's almost like another way, like incentive, so to speak, to put stickers on their wall, their achievement wall, and every time you finish a exercise, and these are their key. So anytime you finish an exercise, like a scientific kind of practice or experiment, you can reward yourself with a badge. And again, this, I just love the colors, and every single time you open up, you don't know what's gonna happen, but it just both me and my daughter loves this. So it's certainly a good one. And we've just recently learned the storm or severe weather, and we, obviously good thing about internet is we can Google things up. So we, immediately Googled like, blizzard or storm or lightning. It was just so fun, like not by only looking at that and distinguish and do the fun drawing piece and the activities, but you can research and do comprehensive add-on things yourself. So yes, absolutely really enjoyed this one. And this also has like a hard side in the very end, so when you do draw stuff, you can even take this outside and maybe draw things like here without feeling like it's too wobbly. It's actually really solid hard board at the back. Okay, anyways, so that's kind of my quick reviews for all these amazing books. And lastly, I have this Unicorns activity book. So this one I got it from Book Outlet for about $3.99. But I mean, I don't know, I don't mind it, but it's not actually the most well spent money, I would say. I mean, it's okay compared to the price. $3.99 plus, you know, shipping or handling and taxes, and it's US, by the way, is close to, like, I don't know, maybe $6 or so. It has some value to it. So my daughter immediately jumped to the last page where there's like the sparkly things you can make, some things with this, with that, I don't know what do you call that, scratch off tool, and then just kind of make, this looks way too fancy. It doesn't come out like that. It just kind of looks silverish, but I guess it does have some reflections. I don't know. She enjoyed coloring and stuff, so they did a few pages. It's okay. It's not like, you know, the most, you know, well designed, but it definitely, I guess it's okay. I don't mind to purchase this one. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of my reviews for all the books I've received these days, and hopefully that can be helpful to you. Make your selection and teach your child, and do enjoy this journey of, I don't know, growth for yourself and your child. All right, so that's all from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Ning. See you next time. Bye now.